So, we're on Monday with my review of Karakuri episode 22. With a friend of some weird episode, right? Somewhat weak episode, in like a really weird sense. Because I feel the episode itself works, right? In a vacuum, without any context to the actual anime, it works. Pretty good, I feel. But the problem, and I could talk about this for hours, I feel, so I'm going to short review here, but the problem I feel is that it's such a mismatch between what is the anime doing, what is it prioritizing. I mean, I don't understand. Like, it's weird. Because the anime is completely, cutting so much stuff, right? It's so incredibly high paced, and we skip over so many battles in the anime, right? We skip over so many characters. And generally, apparently, skipped over like 6 books of Masuru between this episode and last episode, basically. As well. There's so much skipping with Masuru, especially him. I feel the anime just ignores completely. I mean, he's supposed to be the main character, right? So all of that is going on, right? So it's so much like backstory, so much like side stories missing. And then we have this episode, which is really, really slow paced, right? It's insanely slow paced compared to the other episodes. Or actually, it's more like normally paced, but still, right? In relation, to each other, it's very, very slow paced. And it's about the supportive characters, which I at least feel are very insignificant. Like this woman here, right? The One Punch Girl. I mean, I think it's a good. Again, the story itself is pretty good. Okay, she has no luck. She fought under this thing. She beat him right. She saves his kid right. She has like it motivates one. So the actual story is pretty good. Again, I think so. But in the context of the whole anime, it's really bad. Like it really sucks in my opinion. Because again, right, why are we focusing on her? There've been so many other characters anime has pretty much ignored and skipped over, right? Over, all episodes. And she, to me at least, feels like a very, again, right, like a very minor supportive character. It's like Narumi's kinda like sister-ish, girlfriend-ish kinda, love interest, not really. Yeah, maybe also related to the whole evil twins and so on, maybe has the power that, but don't really have that. Yeah, it's not really very interesting in that sense. And she has half the episode over her, right? 10 minutes for her. And then we see George, he's clearly wants to be a pianist, like a musician, right? Obviously, that's his backstory. And he's fighting this other guy, it's like a rebuilt version of him, almost, right? Which also, apparently, they ignored to mention that guy was faceless, hates George because of failure, Shigano, and so on, right? But the other guy is a Shigano that is like a traitor, so it's like some story there, but we don't know the story because the anime skipped over so much of faceless, especially how Dean became faceless, right? Because Dean being the evil guy made 100% sense, the evil father videos and that, but how they become faceless, that anime completely omitted, right? And the whole George battle here feels very related to the whole faceless thing. I haven't read the manga, but it is very related to the faceless thing. I heard a comment people saying this more that, yeah, but definitely that, and that is skipped. And that also when anime is actually pretty bad because it's like, well, here is some part of your story, but we didn't get your story in the previous episode because you skipped over that. Yeah, see what I mean? Like you skipped over his backstory episode 10. You should have it there, skipped over it. And now you have his side story, but without the backstory from the previous episode or from the chapters, right? So it's really weird. It's like you didn't tell us all the side stories about these characters for the first, like 200-300 chapters, and now suddenly you're doing it. And but you aren't doing it from the beginning. You're doing it. You're acting like you told earlier, but you didn't, right? So it really makes no sense. But I think the big issue though is how it feels so unprioritized, right? It's just like we're going from this absurd high pace suddenly to a very slow paced episode, and the slow pacing is focusing on the very supportive characters. Not even on Arumi, not on Guy even, right? Not the master, not the girl with the master, it's gonna be the beast thing, it's gonna be important, right? That she's gonna be skipped over that thing. Like, I would much rather see an episode about the Beast Tamer girl, right? Because she's obviously going to help Masuru. An episode about that instead, then they go into the fight, would be more interesting. For example, I would argue for than seeing this thing. As it's like, I already kind of know her backstory, she's from China, foreign train her, blah, blah, blah. I kind of know her general history, right? I kind of know, the puppet guy's like, I'm bored. I kind of know his history. Actually, this was my favorite part when he's like, I have to fight you now. Even after he wants to let him escape, yeah. It's triggered him to be like, no, this is how I fight you, yeah. That was my favorite part, actually. But still, though, that feels like he's a character been from the beginning, though. So I think he's a big support character. Of all the characters there, I think he has the biggest role, right, of those 3 characters, like George, Shinya, and Heimer. Yeah, he is definitely the biggest, I would say, character in Case one. But still though, it's like, man, we have skipped over like half his story probably at least, right? And suddenly it's like kind of a big character development breakthrough point. It's like, but it was pretty fast though, so it kind of worked, but still though, like, why focusing on this character when I want to see more about, because we just went from the whole destroying the planet and the world and Sunafa, kill all humans, right? That is where the story is right now, and then suddenly we're going back to like, you know, characters like midlife crisis thing, and it's like, it doesn't really fit, right? It's like, you just told me that the world should be destroyed, the anime normally should have pacing, it starts with Narumi flying and shooting with, yeah, like crazy, and like that's what you expect episode to be, right? Like, yeah, and also a little bit with her fighting him though, you kind of get that, but no, it skips over that part, it skips over the battle part, and I'm not a battle guy, I don't want it to be like action, some fan service is like, yeah, fan service, no, but like, I don't want to be that thing, but it's like, it feels so unprioritized again, that's why I kind of did, you know, what are their priorities, because it's like, but would it have been better focusing on Guy or Narumi, and a little bit the ending was good, you know, she could just like, she could have been forced to clothes after one thing, then punched him, and it could be over. It would be the exact same story, I feel. She's like, my father say I wasn't lucky, but bam, yeah, after she put on the, you know, the cute dress, she could have done that pretty much. It would be the same story, not really key, and that would be the pacing we have been used to by now. Okay, right? So I want to see the pacing about the world destruction. I don't want to see the pacing about slowing down here, right? And again, if you should slow down on the main character. Don't slow down on the supportive character that we likely will never see again. That's how it feels, right? We haven't seen her for 10 episodes. So if it's really weird after the whole massive flashback about, you know, Masuru's father, so to speak, right? Yeah, and all of that, right? And Angelina and so on. So we got all that backstory, all that character development, or character, I'll say portrayal, I guess more. Get all of that, and then instead of focusing on Masuru or at least on Narumi, maybe even on Shirogane, right, at the separator, we are focusing on the three somewhat really not very important main supportive characters, not mentioned at all. That feels like it was really weird. That feels to me a bad taste in my mouth. I don't get what they're doing at all, honestly. It feels to me really badly directed, so to speak. Or let's do a filler episode here. Not like filler, but let's do a slow down, you know, character episode here. It's like, why is this happening? Yeah, that's how I feel. Anyway, I think episode's pretty bad. That sounds like episode is good by itself, but in the course of the anime, it's really bad. Right? It feels really weird saying that, because it's very uncommon having that. Usually, I would like the episode with an anime where you go on and we learn the backstory. Why is she a fighter? Why is he now stronger? I love that usually, but here I'm just like, just give me the damn world destruction event for. Just give me the whole. Let them fight, or at least then give me Masuru instead, or give me Narumi instead, right? Yeah, or Shirogane. Shirogane has been ignored for like 20 episodes now. Give me Shirogane instead. How she is thinking, being kidnapped, reflecting over at the Mata. I'd rather have 10 minutes of her thinking, what is happening to me? Why am I on this ship, right? Why is this guy doing this? Why do these guys love me? That would be like a million times more interesting than seeing her fighting that guy. So, because if the anime only can do one of those things, right? He only do like slow episodes very rarely, right? So it's like, why would you do it on his characters of this character? It's boggles my mind. I have no idea. So anyway, the episode's pretty bad. I don't know what they're doing at all with anime anymore. I get disappointed again, I feel. Like it went better after the flashback. We started doing the whole cool story thing. But I do also feel, though, this is the anime's fault, right? I do feel like I haven't read the manga, but I just assume that this probably is a lot of what the story sides, right? And this is story they decided to focus on, right? Which I think is really stupid. Yeah. I think the anime is doing a poor job right now. Really poor job. Anyways, press that button.